Hey everybody, it's Chris at Oak Street Garden Shop. Let's talk plants. I got plants. This is Cape Plumbago. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Plumbago, where it comes from, how we use it here in the Southeast and in the Birmingham area, and talk to you a little bit about its properties. So, Plumbago, it's from South Africa. In South Africa, and I was talking to a couple of my customers just yesterday who had visited South Africa and saw Plumbago in its native habitat, and in South Africa it gets really huge. For us, it's a tropical shrub. Tropical meaning it's going to grow through the summer for us, usually in pots. And in pots it gets about 3 feet tall, maybe 3 feet wide, kind of big and billowy. I have heard Plumbago talked about as kind of a loose, lax shrub and almost viney. So this one right here, you can see this long stem. Years ago, we were able to get in some what's called topiary forms or standard forms of Plumbago, and they were knock your socks off. They had stems and then a ball of Plumbago at the top, and it was gorgeous. And I could see how you could train these because of these long stems that they grow on. Now the blooms come on what's called new growth. Some things bloom on old growth. Some bloom on new growth. Plumbago blooms on new growth. So these are all in full bloom. They've obviously been growing through early spring. We are now at March 21st, the day after the first day of spring. These babies are ready to do their thing. So when you put these out, and again, the next couple weeks, just watch the nighttime temperatures. If it gets below freezing at all, be sure to bring these in because they are tropical shrubs. So out in your landscape, they would do really well in a couple of sunny pots on by your front door if you've got a lot of sun. Around a pool deck in pots. They are beautiful. One thing that's really a plus with the Plumbago is that it's deer resistant. Many people around our area have deer issues. This is a good one if you've got deer. One other thing that you want to be careful of though, which I didn't really realize because it doesn't bother me, but when I was researching Plumbago, just to give you as much information as I can give you, one of the things that I read was that it does cause some contact dermatitis on your skin. Some people might have some issues with that. Be careful, you know, when you're handling it. If that happens to you, maybe wear gloves. The other thing I want to be sure to tell you about is fertilize. We will put some Osmocote in these if you're planting it in a pot. Osmocote, if you've got it, and say it's blooming right now, it's blooming beautifully. Maybe it starts to kind of wear down a little bit, not blooming as much. That means that the blooms have faded, and there's one right here which you can really, really see. I don't know, Harry, if you can spot that right there on the end of that. That bloom is done. And you can go in, when your plant starts to do this, if it all is kind of got these old blooms, you can go in there and very meticulously cut every little thing. But if you're like me, I'm like, I don't have time for that business. I'm gonna go back in here and shear it back and then fertilize it with a blossom booster and wait for it to come back out again. And it will. This is a really, really tough plant for our area. It'll go through the summer. Plumbago, we've got plenty of it right now. Deer resistant. Water, once it's kind of established in your pots, it's pretty easy to take care of. Down the road, I'm gonna try to do a video showing you a planter with Plumbago and some other plants you can put with it too. So that's it, Plumbago. It's March 21st, the second day of spring. We're getting plants in. Come see us. We're here from 9 to 5, Monday through Saturday.